What up, man? It's your big brother K-Rino. Man, look, I just saw this is my second time this week seeing a story where um, an Uber driver had to get into a verbal confrontation with a passenger because the passenger would not get out of their car based on, following some type of disagreement about the ride, about the transaction itself. And they would not get out of the person's car. First, it was a young lady that would not get out of this brother's car. Then I saw, which what made me do this video, I saw something that happened in Florida where this lady was telling these two passengers to get out of her vehicle for whatever reason, and they just wouldn't get out. They just gonna make you take them where they want to go, even after whatever disagreement happened. And I'm not getting into the right and the wrong of it. That's not the purpose of the video, because I don't know. When one case I saw how it led to what it led to, but in the second case I didn't see. I just caught they just showed the end part. So I'm not talking about who may have been right or wrong out of the passenger and the Uber driver. I'm talking about basic common sense principles and basic common sense principles of common sense and survival. If someone tells you adamantly to get out of their vehicle, whether they're an Uber driver or not, and they mean it, you get out of their vehicle. Get out. In these particular cases, these are scenarios where the passenger, who in essence is the customer, they feel as though, man, look, I'm a paying customer. I paid for this ride. I paid for this trip. You're going to take me where I said you're going to take me. And that's what you're going to do because you're working for me right now. Look, all that sound good. In theory, it could be right if you're in the right. But the reality is now you have an upset, mad individual who is escalating. The situation is escalating. You're escalating. They're escalating. And they're saying, well, get out of my vehicle. You're foolish to try to force your way to stay in the vehicle. If you are in a public place of business and something happens, hey man, they might have got your order wrong or whatever the case may be, and the conversation escalates, and the manager, the security guard, hey, well, get out. I ain't going nowhere. I paid my money. Look, that's not going to end well for you a lot of times. If you're in the right, you might want to try to go through the proper channels to get your justice in that situation. But if you're in a situation where you may go to jail behind a hamburger, get killed behind a hamburger, get killed behind an Uber ride, it don't make sense. People even go so far to do it on private property. Somebody tell you, man, get off my grass, get out of my house, get away from my house. I'm not going in it. Who are you? You have an authority. You take an authoritative mindset over something that does not even belong to you, and trying to force your way to be in the presence of someone who clearly is telling you they don't want you there. Something wrong. So, as I'm looking at the lady, the second case in Florida, and she's escalating because these two other young ladies will not get out of her car. And they're filming her. They're seemingly cracking on her because they say, "Ooh, you got them crazy eyes." That's one of the comments they made, and she was going there. Them eyes was starting. They was starting to go there. So because she's upset, and all of a sudden, she pulls out a gun. Pulls out a gun and points it right at him. And when she pulled that gun out and pointed right at him, you know what they did? they got out the car. So you got to almost lose your life to do what you should have done in the first place once a person tells you whether they are loud and aggressive or whether they are calm, cool, and collective. If they tell you to remove yourself from their stuff, whatever it is, a car, a place of business, a house, a patch of grass, if they tell you to remove yourself, leave. What is wrong with you? So then they get out the car. But a lot of times, you know, these are regular situations, but sometimes you got people who are just searching for content because when they got out the car, they said, you getting ready to go viral. Because you got a lot of these weird people out here that risk their life for content, for views and clicks and things of that nature. And everybody ain't playing your little game in your little world. Everybody is not involved in your little pranks and nonsense and all that. And like I said, I don't think these were premeditated, but I'm just kind of going off base to talk about some of the cats and some of the people that will risk life and limb to try to prank somebody or play with somebody or crack a joke, and you filming them and you don't even know these people. You don't know what they've been through, what they're going through, what's going on that day, what they might have experienced. You don't know their temperament. You don't know their past. You don't know their background. You don't know who you're dealing with. But got to get them views, got to get them clicks. But back to the original point. The original point is, man, you know, regardless of the situation, you know, go through the proper channel. Now, people are saying, well, yeah, she should have went through the proper channels too. She should have just called up the police while, you know, they were refusing to get out of her car. And yeah, hey, cool, absolutely. But here's the thing. Here's the point of this video. You can't make that determination. See, everybody is not in a logical mindset all the time once their anger picks up. Some people can get really angry and still stay calm and handle the situation, you know, a certain way. But other people, they ain't built like that. They like, okay, man, get out my car. Hey, man, get out my car. Get out my car. Get out my car. Get out my car. Luckily, she didn't go there. So the people who have this thing where they just gonna force themselves on you, they just gonna demand that you're gonna do, you're gonna, you know, because they have this delusional mindset of their importance. It's like, no, you gotta fix that. So I wanted to put that out there, y'all. Tip of what y'all think about the situation, and understand that regardless of where you are, if something belongs to someone else and they don't want you involved in it, stay away. All right, man, it's your big brother K-Rino. I will catch y'all later on with another one. I'm gonna pick my pen up. I will catch y'all later on with another one, man. Be sure to check out the latest episode of the Underground Dialogue podcast right here on YouTube, and subscribe to this channel and that one, and I will catch y'all later on. Peace.